welcome to this video on color pencil portrait paintings. I want to, in this video, show you the supplies that I use and the techniques that I use. It is not going to be a project per se video. It's just telling you my techniques and the supplies I use. First of all, I want to start with you with the supplies. This is the paper that I like to use, and it's called Fisher 400. And I like to use Polychromos color pencils on my portrait paintings. I'm going to tell you the colors that I want you to get for your first set. I'm going to go one by one and tell you each of the colors. White, cream, ivory, light ochre, dark Naples ochre, and light yellow ochre. Warm gray 1 and warm gray 4. Black, burnt sienna, and burnt umber. And these are the flesh colors. Dark flesh, cinnamon, light flesh, sanguine, Pompeian red, and medium flesh. Now, the first thing that you have to do is you have to find a good photograph. Let's find a project to show you. So, since you want to paint the face mainly, have a photograph that has a big face so you portray the face and that has something interesting in the picture. And you're going to need one of these acetates. And you're going to need a magic marker with fine point. And that magic marker with fine point, you're going to use it to trace these lines. You're going to trace these lines over the photograph with the magic marker with fine pen. I'm going to show you the one that I use. These are the magic markers that I use. They're Sharpie and they are ultra fine pen. Is you're gonna go over the lines of the photograph with that magic marker. The thing is, you're gonna need something so that you are able to see the lines. You may be able to see it like this, but if you need some help, you can get a light box, or you can use a window that has a lot of light coming through. Then you can use that. So either a light box or a window with lots of light. So once you have traced these on the acetate, you're ready to transfer this to your pattern. To your paper, sorry. So let's show you what I mean. I like to put this piece behind the paper and then put this over the light box, and with one of the light flesh colors you can use let's see, any of the light flesh color, Pompeian red or even cinnamon, sanguine, one of those colors, and you're gonna transfer with this the lines that you see. I don't have right now a light box to show you, but just put this on top of the window, or the window has to be behind the paper, and the light box will be underneath, and you're gonna see through the pattern that you created, and you're gonna trace with this. Anyway, you're gonna keep this acetate while you're painting, and you will be able to see if you have traced the fissures correctly. Now, if you look closely in here, there's many lines that I put in here, and I'm going to explain to you that. Before I explain that to you, I want to also tell you, leave the black for the end, because see, that is the black. One of the portraits that I was showing had black, and once you touch the black, you're going to be moving it to other places that you don't want to. So when you look at the painting, and this is the painting, this is the one from this photograph. When you look at the painting, you're going to see lines that you're going to want to trace. For example, you see that red line in there, you're going to trace that like I did in here. See that? So let me show you another. See that? The cheek is rosy in there, so this section, you see, I'm marking that. I'm marking all the lines that I see. Now, let me tell you something. If you do not know how to do this, I'm going to explain to you a very, very quick and easy way to do it with a computer. You will need to have a program called Photoshop Elements. You see, you can get a value map from that. I don't normally use this because I like to do my own value map when I trace. When I do all these tracings, I like to get them myself from the photograph. But if you need help, this is the best way to do it. In this value map, you're going to see the very light areas. You see, this is even lighter than this. So this area is lighter. And then you see the very, very dark areas. Very, very dark areas in here. So you'll know exactly where to put the darks and where to put the lights. Now, there is one drawback of this program. You see that he put green in there, and that doesn't really have green. It is not green in the photograph. So that is the drawback of this program. That is not an exact science. It will give you some colors, but it shows you exactly where the lines go in this dark section in here. Now let me tell you something very important. Colored pencils, portraits, has lots of colors, and these are not the only pencils that we were going to use, but the thing is that you can get any other color pencils that you have in your house to complement this set. This is only the set that I'm showing you, is only the principal colors that you need from Polychromos that I mostly use. I'm going to tell you, these are the ones that I mostly use, but I'm going to tell you a few of these that are essential. So if you don't want to get this whole set, you get the ones that are essential. And I'm going to tell you which colors are those. And those will be the ones that I think are the essential values are ivory, light flesh, cinnamon, Pompeian red, and burnt umber. Those are the ones that I think are essentials to get. But if you can get all my favorite colors, then you can do that. Now I'm going to also show you how we apply the color in the next section. This is a small strip of the paper that I use, Fisher 400 art paper, and we're going to do a value map in here of the colors that we're going to be using. So the darkest color in the flesh is going to be burnt umber. I don't want you to apply the dark colors first because the dark colors can contaminate the light. So I prefer applying the dark color at the end unless you need to. For example, in this portrait, the dark colors will be underneath, and you know why that is? Because all this hair is casting shadows on the flesh. So that's why that is casting that shadow and needs the dark color. Now, he has a lot of highlight in his hair. So, but you see the dark colors on the hair. You need to do hair, you need to do dark colors and light colors. But that hair will be for a next video. In here, we're just talking about techniques and supplies. So let's take one of the photos and put it in here and show you how the color was applied. Now the photo that you're going to be using may be very, very dark, and you know the person, and you know that this person has lots of lights on her face, so you know where to put the lights, and you're not going to make as dark as the photo is. You're going to make it lighter with more life. And you see the light in here. So this is where I'm going to start applying the light, but I'm going to apply it first. I'm not going to go straight to white. Don't start straight to white. You'll use white at the end. So you're going to start with very light color. You can start with ivory in there, and then at the end you can add some white. And then in the pinky colors, we're going to start with the light flesh, and later on we're going to apply more tones to the in here. So what you're going to do, you're going to take to your value map and you're going to find all the colors that you see. The medium flesh, the dark flesh, and the very, very dark flesh. In here, the only very, very dark first where I used burnt umber was in here. I like to use a lot of Pompeian red also on dark areas, Pompeian red, and I can blend with a tiny bit of burnt umber. The thing about these colored pencils is that once you have a lot of application of color, you're going to blend with your fingers. If you don't like blending with your fingers, you can find one of those punch tips and you can blend with that. Now, in colored pencils, in portraits, any type of portrait, there are a lot of colors applied because the colors reflect on the flesh. So in here, I can see that I apply some yellows in here, some oranges, some pink, sometimes gray, sometimes I apply even green, a lot of colors. That is why you need to have all the colors pencil that you have. I like this particular painting because I like to find things that are interesting, and she had a small gecko in her hands. So this is what you're going to be looking for, the colors, the different values, the dark brown, the medium flesh, the dark, this is dark in here, then it comes lighter and lighter, and then it has some tints of pink color. So now I'm going to show you the colors, how I use in a small value card. Okay, let me tell you something. The medium flesh has a lot of pink, so I don't really use that for my medium flesh. We're going to do a value card in here with the colors, and we're going to first put ivory. And when you paint with color pencils, you can do a circular motion, or you can do crush hatching lines. It goes closer. So ivory is very light, so you will not see that in there. It's almost the same color as the paper. Then I'm going to go to light flash. And a trick that I'm going to tell you, when I try to mix two colors together, I do not put them side by side like I just did. I like to zigzag. For example, I'm going to bring this color up and down. Let me show you. Up and down, and that way it's going to blend with the next color. I'm going to do the same with the other color. I'm going to go up and down, and I'm going to start blending those two colors together. By the time you see the lines start to disappear. So up and down, up and down. And then if you have a lot of color, you can blend with your finger. Once you have a lot of application of color, you're going to be able to blend with your finger. So when you put the light flash on top of the ivory, you're going to be doing another color in between. And the best thing it is that it blends with the finger. Okay, so now I want to do a darker color, and I just did ivory and light flash. I'm gonna go to the medium flash in here. You see how pinky it is? Okay, so that's why I do not like to use medium flash or dark flash too often, unless it is when I want to put some red. So I will go to cinnamon instead of that color that I just did. I will put cinnamon. Now let me give you another trick. What do you think I'm going to use to clean that? I am not going to clean it with an eraser. I'm going to use a poster tack. This is a poster tack. And I'm just going to remove it like this. Now I'm going to clean my hands because I've been touching other portraits. We see how it removes everything. So I can put back the light flash that I was putting in there. And now I'm going to create, I put the light flash, and now I'm going to create another color. Let me just clean my hands and I will be right back. Okay, so far we have the ivory. We have the light flash that was carefully blended in there by going up and down and using your fingers. And now we're going to go to a third value, and this is going to be cinnamon. So I'm going to put cinnamon in here, and cinnamon is very dark compared to this other color that I just put in there. What do you do to blend it? You're going to go up and down with both colors. You're going to go up and down with both colors and start blending it. And you're going to create another value, and you can also use your fingers to blend. If you don't want to use the fingers, you can use one of those sponges. So I am creating a third value, and I am blending these two colors very nicely with my finger. Up and down. You do up and down with both of the pencils until you have the desired amount of blending that you want in that area. Now let me tell you, do not use too much pressure, because there is a point where you reach, you're gonna reach the maximum amount of pencil that this paper can hold, because this paper holds a lot of, it has texture and it holds some layers, but there's gonna be a point where it reaches its maximum. So you have to have go with little amount of pressure until you have all the colors that you need. Next, you can go to the Pompeian red, but Pompeian red has a lot of red. So you're going to tint a tiny bit this Pompeian red with the burnt umber, and I will show you how. Going up and down. Tint that Pompeian red with the dark umber, which is the last color that you're gonna put, and then there are only certain areas that have that umber color. Let's blend this. You can also blend that Pompeian red with the previous color, which was the cinnamon. And these are all the colors that I have used. You can blend with your fingers. These are the colors that I have used in that all these portraits that I am going to show you in here. In just a second, I'm going to give you, whoopsie daisy. You don't want to go outside of your lines. If you do, you can clean it. Some areas need to be very dark, others are going to stay very soft, but there are very few areas where you're going to have very dark areas. Blending with the cinnamon, my strip of color, and I'm going to leave it like that. You can also have in your supplies a brush that I call a Hake brush. I'm going to bring one in here in just a second. This is a Hake brush, and you can use that for cleaning your areas. This is the tack cloth, and you can use also that to clean. So this will be the strip of color, and once you're satisfied with your blending, remember that you can use also your finger. There's one more color that is basic, and it is the white, but you leave that for the end, and you use it to highlight at the end in there. So I show you the strip of color, I show you how I apply color, and now I'm going to give you some example of the work that I have done. This was the white, apply there, and you can blend with the finger. So this is a strip of color. Now let's see my work. Okay, so this is Monica. I have not framed this, so I am putting a piece of balloon on top to protect it while I take it to the framer. Duval, I have used Duval for many demonstrations. These are short 30 minutes demonstrations that I have done on some of my classes. And these have been all for the same baby. His name is Duval. Before I clean my hands, I want to show you, this was the picture that I used for Duval. But you don't have to put it that dark, because you want the portrait to be alive. So if you make the cast shadow so dark, it's not going to, your photo is not going to look pretty. So you have to make your photo come alive. So I didn't do it that dark, but if you want to, you can do it as dark as you want. This one is Joffre. So I already showed you Sergio, Gabriela, Juliana, Marcos. I want to show you this. See the black. I have to fill in more of the black, but I want to show you the photo because this is a good example. When you're painting someone, you catch the feature because you know how this person looks. But what I want to show you is how dark is this photo, and I didn't want it to have that dark, so I painted it lighter. And I have strong highlight, but not as strong as they were because they don't look good like that. So, you use your judgment. And now I'm going to show you some of the photos that I have reserved to paint so that you know what type of photo are the ones that I look for when I am painting a portrait. And I have it reserved to do a painting of this one, that one. And this is the whole photo. I may do the whole painting. She was hurt. She hurt her leg and her face. She was hurting. This other one. And these are a few examples of the colors of the photographs that I have reserved to do painting from. So I hope you liked this video on tips and techniques and supplies for color pencil paintings, and I hope you join us for more videos. Thank you for joining me.